Hey y'all, it's another Thursday, and I was just sitting here and I was thinking about something that happened to me earlier this week, y'all. So I have been feeling like really depressed, and I'm like, why am I feeling depressed? I'm wondering if it was like Charles's energy, because I seen a study or whatever that they had did where they took a man's saliva, they like did a swab or whatever, right? And they were like doing some kind of energy test on it or something. I can't remember exactly. I gotta see if I can find it again because it was like months ago when I was looking at it. And even though the man was like 500 miles away or whatever, his energy, the way he was feeling, like they were asking him like, how is he feeling and all that stuff via text and all that, and how he was feeling was matching the energy in his saliva. Like, it was crazy. But anyways, so y'all know how they say that soul ties is real and all that stuff, and y'all, that really just confirmed even more. Like, when you are swapping DNA with people, their DNA is inside of you, and how they feel, your DNA, it affects your DNA essentially, and so when I was looking at it, I was just like, oh my God, that's why you really got to be careful who you swap DNA with. And people be feeling like they crazy and all sorts of stuff because they swapping DNA with so many people, and these people feeling all these different kinds of ways, and so now you chaotic. Like, y'all, that's real science. But anyways, so I was wondering, I was like, dang, is this his energy? Like, why am I feeling like this? Right? So I've been watching Grey's Anatomy since, I don't know, maybe last week. And I went back and started rewatching some of the old seasons because I'm a Grey's Anatomy head. I will watch Grey's Anatomy over and over and over and over again. So after I finished the newest season, I went back and started watching some of the old seasons. And I got to the season this week where it was during COVID, right? And so this week, y'all, I just been feeling depressed this whole week. I'm like, dang, why am I just feeling so depressed? And so I was like, what is going on in my world that will make me feel depressed, right? And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, maybe it's because of this Grey's Anatomy. So I said, you know what? I'm going to change what I've been watching. I'm not going to watch it for like a day or two and see how I feel. Y'all, the Grey's Anatomy is definitely what's making me feel depressed. Like, we really have to be careful about what we put into our bodies in all aspects, because I did not even realize, like, that's literally what it was. Because I kept saying to myself, I'm like, there is nothing wrong in my world. Everything is fine in my world. Why am I feeling depressed? Why am I feeling like this? Like, y'all, I was just I don't know. And I'm the type of person, I put a show on and the show be watching me. I'll put it on and it'll be watching me, especially Grey's Anatomy, because I love me some Grey's Anatomy. But that particular season is so depressing. My lips all dry. It is really depressing. Like, y'all be watching Grey's Anatomy? Like, I don't know. But that particular, it was just so depressing. And I'm like, when I go back and watch it, that'll be the season I'm gonna have to make sure that I skip every time, because no ma'am, ain't nobody got time. They already be having you crying from people be dying and stuff, and you be sad that people be gone and leaving and all that. But it was something about that particular season, it's just like draining. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm gonna still keep watching Grey's Anatomy, but we're gonna start skipping that season when I go back and rewatch. We're not dealing with that one, y'all. But it just really, I don't know. But the more and more I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, dang, you have to be careful in all aspects when it comes to food, when it comes to intimacy, like, and intimacy on any type of level, whether it be a sexual intimacy or emotional intimacy or any of that. Like, you really have to be careful. And then, what you watch, what you're engaging in, the drama and stuff. Like, I tried to watch what was it, Love Island? Yeah, I turned that off so fast. I was like, it just the intro gave that this was about to be some mess. And I was like, why am I gonna sit up and watch some mess? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, I don't even operate like that. I don't even play like that. Why am I gonna sit up and watch this? And I couldn't even get past the intro. I was like, it was giving like College Hill vibes. And y'all know how College Hill was. College Hill was, it was something else. But yeah, y'all, like, you really, really, really gotta be careful what you put into your body, what you put into your spirit, what you are exposing yourself to. Because when I say that, when I was growing up, they used to always say, like, the enemy operates in many forms. Like, not just in one form. Just the same way that God operates in more than one form, so does the enemy, right? And so when you think about it like that, it'll make you like, okay, I need to move differently. I need to do things differently. And so you need to like evaluate every single thing, every single aspect, every single thing that you do. Like, we walk through this life like it's not that serious, like it's not that big of a deal. But literally everything we do really is that serious. It really is that big of a deal. We might think like, oh, we're just sitting and we're just watching TV or watching a show. It's not that big of a deal. But what you put in is what you get out. That's why they say birds of a feather flock together. And if you are constantly hanging around somebody, think about it. You constantly hanging around somebody that's sad all the time, that's depressed all the time, that's angry all the time, don't you find yourself feeling the same way eventually? You end up being sad. You end up being depressed. No hope. No nothing. If you feed into it, if you allow them to be an influence to you, but if you allow yourself to be influenced to them, then you can change. Like, you gotta be a really strong-willed, strong-minded person to not allow your environment, your direct environment, to affect you in any form or fashion. And to be honest, I don't even know that that's really possible. I'm gonna say to not affect you greatly, because it'll influence you in some kind of way, but how it influences you and how much it influences you is based on you and your mind and your will, but it's just, man. And that's the same thing with your partner. Like, I mean, even when you think about it, like, we take relationships so lightly these days. We just get in and out with anybody. But I mean, dang, maybe that's why they used to have to fight. They used to make men, contenders, fight for the woman, because it's a really big deal. Who you pair yourself to is a really big deal. Y'all know? They can make or break you. They'll be the reason why you either make it or be the reason why you don't make it. If you got somebody that's financially illiterate and they always want to just spend all the money, they want to do everything by themselves, they want to go get this nice car, they want to do that, and y'all not on the same page, your partner will be the reason why the dreams don't work, the goals don't work, they're never fulfilled. So, what you put into yourself matters. What you were influenced by matters. You got to keep yourself in good energy, in good company, eat good food, good living food. You know what I mean? Eat your fruits, eat your veggies, all of that. It all really matters, because when you think about it, like potato chips, junk food, all this stuff is not living. It's dead. It has no lively form in it, right? But then when you think about, did y'all know that when you cut a plant, it actually makes a noise? Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. I remember when I found that out. I said, wait, what? Oh, wait, what? Y'all, they make a little scream. It's a little scream, and we can't hear that our natural ears. But there was a study. I don't know what made them do this, but they did, and you could see the wavelengths every time they cut a plant or anything like that. The wavelengths that it sent out, of course, if it's a wavelength, it's a sound. Yup, very much a thing. So, anyways, we don't think of plants and stuff like, most of the time you don't think of it as live, but it is alive. It's a living thing, and so when you really think about it like that, it's like, dang, we gotta be more intentional. We're not intentional enough. That's what it is right there. You gotta be more intentional. We gotta be more intentional with everything. Like our life depends on it. Like we have to be so intentional, like our life depends on it. Because at the end of the day, our lives do depend on it, right? Our lives depend on every single thing that we do. What we eat, because if you eat the wrong thing, you poison, you're dead. You're unalived. You're gone. You eat the wrong thing. You expose yourself to the wrong thing. You hanging around the wrong people. You can be unalived. Because you end up at the wrong place at the wrong time. You end up being intimate with the wrong people. Man, y'all, I know so many stories. My God. I gotta sit up for this one. I done heard so many stories from men and women about how them being intimate with the wrong person ruined their lives. Exposed to something, they pick up something that they can't wash off, and then they just stuck like Chuck. Baby, whoo! I be so scared of that. I be talking to Charles about it all the time. Like this week, was it this week, where the lady, she murdered her child's father? I ain't gonna call him her baby daddy. That's what they calling him online. But she murdered her children's father because he gave her HIV. And it was right here in Arlington. And I keep seeing all the posts. Sorry, I just noticed something on my door. It's bothering me. I keep seeing all the posts and stuff, the Instagram, the YouTube videos about it and stuff. And they trying to make it seem like she was, you can tell, like, it's paid, basically. Like, what do you call it? PR, paid PR. For he probably trying to, for his brand or whatever. I don't know. But either way it go, trying to say that, she was just a bitter baby mama and all this stuff. But there was so much more to the story. And y'all, when I say HIV is running rampant out here, it is. It very much is. And I've been knowing this for the last couple of years, that it's been bad out here. And now more and more people are starting to realize that it's bad out here in DFW. And so people, they making it seem like she was just bitter and all this other stuff. And that was not the case. There was a lot more to it. That man gave her HIV, turned her world upside down, took her for everything she had. It was a lot more to it. Baby, don't nothing make you do nothing like that. And I mean, I get it. She might have felt like she had no other reason to live. Maybe she didn't want to live with that. She didn't want her children to see her suffer with that. Who knows? I don't know. But do I understand? I do. And I've been talking to Charles about it. And I'm just like, people will risk their lives over a moment of pleasure. My God. A moment of pleasure. And that scares me. That's one of the things that scare me the most. Because you can really be trusting your partner, and the whole time they doing something foul behind your back and you don't know, You can't see through people. We can't see through people. We can't see that what's going on in their minds. We can't see none of that. So, Do I think that she was right for doing it? Not necessarily, but do I understand why she did it? Yeah, I do. Because I don't know what I would do if that happened to me. I would probably lose it too. I would lose my mind too. I would, baby, lose my mind? Oh, baby. Woo. Y'all be like, oh, Lord, that's Ashley. That's Ashley on the news. Yeah, that's me. Baby. Gone. Because I probably lose my mind too. And it's sad, because they had children. And now them children are going to grow up with neither parent. Because, well, both of them actually was reckless when you really look at it. He was reckless in his dealings and what he did. And she was reckless in the way she responded. But nobody gets to dictate anybody's response to abuse, to being mistreated. Nobody gets to dictate your response to that. So, it is what it is. But I do feel for the situation. I tell you that. And it's a scary one. I knew a lady that was living with HIV, and she used to have these freak moments all the time. And granted, that was like, what's this year, 20? It was like 10 plus years ago when I knew her. And one time we were all in the kitchen and we were cooking because she was a caterer, and she cut herself and she started freaking out. She's like, everybody back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. And we were just like, oh my God. She's like, get out of the kitchen right now. Everybody leave the kitchen right now. And I just, y'all, it was just, man. So, and she got it from her husband. Her husband gave it to her. Her husband was the only man she had ever been with in her whole life. And she got it from him. You can never be too safe. You can never be too safe. And it's sad. It's sad that you can choose to be with somebody, to trust somebody, to build with them, and then something like that happened. It's so sad, man. It's heartbreaking. It's scary. It's heartbreaking and scary. It's frightening. It makes you be like, what, maybe I'm just better off being by myself. Like, you got to be careful and be intentional with everything. With everything. You got to. And even when you are intentional, and even when you are careful, you got to double down on it. Because you never know, Lord. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, when I say I was sad, like, y'all, I was like, I ain't going to work. I ain't doing nothing. I'm going to just lay here in the bed and do nothing. That's literally how I felt. Excuse me. I didn't want to do no designs for the brand. I didn't want to do nothing. I was just like, I'm going to just lay here and do nothing. And I didn't even know why I felt that way. I'm like, my bills is paid, everything taken care of. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I depressed? What is wrong with me? It's what I was exposing myself to. Child, gots to be more careful, right? Ain't that what they say? But yeah, y'all, I'm ready for this weekend. I know that. I don't know why I'm ready for the weekend. Maybe it's because Carrie go with her daddy this weekend, and I do feel like I need like some me time. I need some me time. Not no you, not no we, but some me time. How that song go, y'all? That's how I'm feeling though. Like, I really need some me time, like real bad. And not this man that pulled up next to me and turned his music up loud. Like, he didn't even have no music on when he pulled up, and now he done turned his music up. People be interesting, real interesting. I seen him looking at me, looking over here at me. or her. I don't know if it's a girl or lady. I mean, a girl or a guy, but I can see them out of my peripheral, you know. So, yeah. But yeah, y'all. That's all I really wanted to talk to y'all about this week. I think I'm getting better. I mean, I haven't really done a lot of motivational content lately. So I definitely need to do some motivational content. If y'all made it this far, drop some purple hearts in the comments. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.